I'm Amy Cherry. Authorities are searching for an elderly South Carolina man in a hit-and-run crash last week that injured a Flagler County Sheriff's deputy. John Arking reports.
74-year-old James Rex Voorhees of Beaufort County, South Carolina, is being sought for the crash that injured Deputy Brett Wood last Wednesday when his motorcycle crashed while attempting to apprehend Voorhees from a previous crash. Wood is recovering from his injuries. Voorhees is charged with leaving the scene of an accident with injury, leaving the scene of an accident with property damage, and driving with a suspended license with knowledge. Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley says Voorhees' driver's license has been suspended since July of 2016. An arrest affidavit was completed and a warrant signed for nationwide extradition for Voorhees' arrest. Anyone with information on Voorhees' location is asked to call the Flagler County Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers of Northeast Florida at 1-888-477-TIPS. You can remain anonymous and would be eligible for up to a $1,000 reward. John Arking, Flagler's Morning News.
This portion of WNZF Local News, a service of the Daytona Beach International Airport. Fly to the Big Apple in a New York minute on JetBlue from the Daytona Beach International Airport.
Restrictions on towing companies are beefed up in Flagler County. County commissioners unanimously passed an updated law that allows them to pull a tower from rotation temporarily or permanently if they're caught overcharging. The ordinance breaks down the penalties with specific fees in place. Under the new regulations, charges can't exceed what's on a rate sheet. Towers are also forbidden from showing up at a crash without being dispatched and from cruising for vehicles on the street. Now county code enforcement officers will also hear appeals along with the sheriff's office if someone protests a towing fee. Two popular landmarks are closed due to flooding. Rich Petchke has the details.
On Monday, officials shut down Princess Place Preserve and the Haw Creek Preserve in Russell Landing until further notice because the hardwood swamp that borders Haw Creek is flooded. The closures include trails, camping, and the canoe-kayak launch areas. According to officials, both parks will remain closed until the water has a chance to recede and the shell roadways have dried out enough to be safe for parking. Signs and barricades are now in place. I'm Rich Petchke.
With those flooding closures comes the wettest year in Flagler County in more than 2 decades. 2017 so far has been a real soaker with more than 72 inches of rainfall reported in Bunnell. And with more than a month left, we can expect more rain. Emergency operations staff say it's the wettest year since 1995, when more than 67 inches of rain fell. The average amount of rainfall in a year is about 50 inches for our area. But contributing in large part this year was Hurricane Irma, which dropped 14 inches. It's not likely, but Flagler could beat the all-time record if another big rainstorm were to occur. The wettest year on record was in 1953, when more than 79 inches of rain was reported. And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.